Hello everyone, welcome to BeneKnits podcast. My name is Benedict, but my friend and family call me Bene. I'm talking to you from a city in the north of Paris in France, where I live with my two daughters and my partner. This is my second podcast, so I'm still very new, but as I feel very stressed, I'm just going to jump right in and talk to you about knitting. So, since my last podcast, I finished the Albion sweater from Michelle Wong. I don't have it with me, but I'll try to put some picture. It's a success. My partner is wearing it and he loves it. That's why I don't have it with me. And if you watched my previous podcast, you will know that I really struggled to finish it. I had knitted everything. The only thing that I had left was to assemble the sleeves to the rest of the sweater, and it took me 2 days to. I blocked it quite aggressively, and then I tried to assemble it like 3 or 4 times, but finally I managed to mattress stitch the sleeve to the rest of the sweater, and I'm quite happy with the result. I knitted it in what's I have everything written down in Regia Merino Yak in blue and in Holst Garn Titicaca in carbon blue, and I'll show you what it looks like. It was not an easy pattern for me. I think I'm still a beginner knitter, and I was really far from my comfort zone. So I'm quite happy that I finished it. It took me forever. I think I started it in January. So we are the 11th of November here in Paris now. So yes, I'm quite happy to to have to knit it. I don't think I would knit it again, or if I had to knit it again, maybe I would find another way to knit the sleeves and the rest of the body, because I'm not good at mattress stitches. So let's talk about what I'm wearing. So this is my second sweater. It's a Felix pullover. I knitted it in April 2021, and I was still very new at knitting sweater. So this was my second sweater. See if I can stand a bit and take off my shawl. So you see there is a lace pattern. So this lace pattern is wrong. It's not supposed to be here. But I like it, so I left it. This lace pattern is right. This lace pattern is wrong. I don't remember which one was right or wrong. I have one lace pattern that's not in the right place, but I can't remember. I think it's this one. I knitted it in Gilliatt from Dererum Natura. It's a French brand, and it's a merino from France and Portugal. It's gorgeous yarn. It's very squishy. The color, where is it? I'm just going to make a bit of noise. Amaranth. Let's see if you can see that. Amaranth. It's a very, very lovely yarn. What I've learned from this pattern, it was my second sweater. The first one was Petite Knit no frill sweater. So in this pattern, I never was my first time doing laces, and it's quite a basic lace pattern, but if you're a beginner, it's a nice way to start. So I learned to make yarn overs and make one right, make one left. And I was still not very good at picking up stitches for the sleeves, so there is like a bad effect peeling under my arms. But I like it anyway, and I wear it over dresses. What I would do differently if I had to knit it again, I think I would just do something about the neckband because it's too broad, and it's a very warm sweater, but then you're cold here. And I have to wear it over a shawl, and if you wear it over a shawl, then you can't see the lace pattern, so it's a shame. So I mean, it's a very very nice pattern. So it's a Felix pullover from Amy Christopher. Okay, so let's move on to what I'm knitting on right now. So I'm still knitting from my partner. It's his second sweater, and it's pink. So the story behind the wait, am I going to lose stitches? Yes, I am. So the story behind this sweater is that I bought pink yarn because I realized that I had a lot of brown sweater, and because I don't know, for last year, or no, 2 years ago, no, last year, I wanted to buy only brown yarn. It's a chocolate kind of color here, and I looked at my wardrobe, and I usually I wear pink and green, and ochre. I don't have any sweater in this color, so I bought pink yarn because I wanted to do the first sweater from Lizzie. Can't remember her name. I think it's her first pattern. And I was not happy about the color. So it's Drops Flora. It's a color, I think it's peach or color 20. And I'm holding two strands together because I'm a very tight knitter, and sometimes it's the only way to get gauge. So I listened to Amy Palco podcast, where she said that if you are not comfortable with mohair, you can try Olsgan Titicaca. It's 100 pure thin alpaca. The color is Rose Bay. And Drops Flora is it's alpaca too, I think. Yes. So it's, where is it? I think it's alpaca and wool, but I can't see it written. Ah, yes. 65% wool and 35% alpaca. So it's alpaca and wool and more alpaca. So it's very, very warm. But I don't know why I didn't like the result for me. but my partner said that he would be happy with a pink sweater. It's true that he's wearing pink. So I looked at pattern for men. There are not so many. Okay, after the Albion sweater, I needed a rest. I needed something easy to knit. So I'm knitting now the, let's pronounce that, Slum sweater by BeneKnits. In this pattern, I learned to make a folded collar where you pick yeah, you're picking up stitches to fold the neckband, and then it's just raglan down the arm, and when it fits, you just um, keep on knitting once you've got the arm ready. So I'm done to the easiest part now. It's just knitting in the round until it fits, and then knitting the sleeves. So I'm just going to knit slowly through it. I'm not in a hurry. He's got his his sweater and he's very happy. So he'll have a second one when it will be finished, and that's it. So I wanted to do the first sweater, but I don't know if you know about this pattern. The first sweater, you've got like long sleeve in half fisherman rib. I've never done that. And I thought that maybe, I mean, it's a statement already, so maybe I need a more neutral color to do statement sweater. So I'm planning to do it in green. I'll show you the yarn. I already have the yarn because I've bought so much yarn that I need to stop to buy yarn. So I'll show you the yarn in the next podcast, because my two daughters, they are sitting on the sofa watching a film, and my yarn is on the sofa with them. So I'll show you that in some other podcasts. They are commenting the film in French right now, if you can hear them. So next, because I'm knitting a very easy stockinette, full stockinette sweater for my partner. I'm knitting something a bit more challenging for my youngest daughter. So it's the Poppy Kids cardigan by Fox and Folk. I'm doing it in the for 10 to 12 years old. In let me show you the wool. So it's I love this yarn. It's Brusca. I don't know, it's Portuguese, maybe it's Brusca, from Retrosaria. So I'm using this color in natural, this color in green. You know that Retrosaria, it's number, so natural, I think it's 10C, green, no, it's green 10C, in like ochre. I don't know if I've written that down. In brown, look at the brown. It's gorgeous. Can you see all the speckles? And think that's it. Do I have the natural? Yeah, natural. It's B. So it's Brusca. Brusca is let me read it. It's in written in Portuguese, but it's 100% wool from Portugal. It's merino. Merino Portuguese wool. It's sourced, scored, milled, and dyed in Portugal. So I've been feeling quite bad lately because I bought yarn. Some of the yarn came from very far from the United States. I felt bad about buying yarn that I had to travel so far. So I'm trying to buy yarn closer to me. So this one is French and Portuguese. This yarn is 100 Portuguese. So it's a cardigan with a bit of color work and sticking. You have to stick it. So each time I choose a pattern, I think about what the person would like to wear, about the color, about the yarn. If I wanted to try this yarn, and I try as well to learn something new in each pattern. In the pattern for my husband, I never did a folded collar before, so it was the opportunity for me to learn how to do that. In this one, I am still new at color work. So far, I've knitted hats in color work, and I never knitted a sweater before. So I think that if you have children around you, it's just perfect to try new things because it's 10 to 12, so it's small. And you can just try a new technique, and it's not a big deal if you have to. I mean, it's always a big deal if you have to rip everything back. I'm lying because I talk to you about this pattern, and then you see that I'm lying. So what do? You start with the ribbing part, and then you knit in the round in stockinette, and then you have like a few rows of color work where you have the three color, green, brown, and ochre, and then down you start to have like the poppy. I think it's perfect pattern for today because here now it's the 11th of November. It's the celebration for the end of the First World War in France. So it's poppy cardigan. It's a symbol of for French English soldier in England. So here you start the poppy. Then you've got some more color work down the sweater on the sleeve too, and you have to knit and leave space to stick it. The pattern is very easy to understand and very easy to follow, but you have to read it, and that's something that I'm still struggling to read it, but to read it properly, because I started knitting and then from the beginning, after the ribbing, I didn't understand what I was supposed to do on the sticking part. Like, what was I supposed to do with the color work on the sticking part? And everything was explained. So you have a chart for the color work, you have a chart for the sleeve color work, for the yoke color work, and you have a chart for the sticking part in the color work. And I've realized that yesterday. So I've done 12 rows of the yoke, and I don't want to repeat back. So I don't want to rip 12 rows of color work. I'm still new at color work. I don't want to undo it. So I think I'm just going to knit and see how it will work out. It's right in the front and right on the top. But I mean, I don't want to rip it. Maybe it will work out. Anyway, after that, once you stick it, you have to do um, knitting band for a button band. So we'll see how it will. I'll show you in my next video how it will look. I'm not going to repeat back. So this is what I'm knitting right now, and so I've got lots of yarn and I've got lots of plan, and I was thinking about what I would like to knit next, and I'm trying to follow a new rule that I made up for myself. I have to stop to knit everything that's bright and shiny. So every time I buy new yarn, I tend to knit new yarn and to leave the yarn that I have in my stash for like 1 or 2 years. And I have to stop to do that. So I think that maybe I have to at least make one knitting garment with yarn that I have in my stash. So I was watching a podcast from, I don't remember her name. She's a stewardess, a Canadian stewardess. What's the name of the Knitting Stew podcast. And she's making a lot of hats, and I love her podcast. And she said that in Canada you can call hat hook or tuck. And she made one in bright yellow, and I loved it. And I think, okay, I have yellow, and it's been lying in my stash for like 1 or 2 years, so maybe I can try do something with it. Normally I do not wear hats because I've got lots of hair and it doesn't really fit me, but I wear a beret. I'm very French for that, and I thought, okay, maybe I can make a yellow beret. So I looked on the web and I thought, okay, maybe you know Sari Nordlund. I don't know if I pronounce her name right. I mean, she's got incredible laces pattern, and she's got a few beret pattern ones. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. I looked through all of them. She's got the Kuta beret with a lace pattern. She's got the Dahlia with 2 it's brioche with 2 colors. So I've made brioche once. I don't know if I can. I don't know. Still have to think if I'm able to do a brioche with 2 colors. She's got the Salut Chérie beret, but it's in worsted, and so I have to think maybe I can make one too in worsted yarn. But I think I made my choice already. I'm thinking about the Bees or BB No, there is like two S. Bis, because I'll show you the yellow. I've got this very bright yellow yarn, and it's already so bright, so I think that maybe I need to knit something like a pattern that is not too busy, because it's already quite a statement. So this yarn is Rauma Finul. It's a Norwegian yarn, and the color is 4405, and it's been in my stash for many years, and I've got like, I think I have two other color in blue and green. Maybe I'll make two of them. And my friend Sarah, she gave me this mohair for my birthday 2 years ago, and she's doing a art she's doing a, I don't know how to say that in English, I'm sorry, maybe I'll show you some words I'm in the podcast. She's using yarn to make art, and she had too many of this color, and she just gave me one. So it's yellow too, and I didn't know what to do. So am I going to go full yellow? It's not the same yellow. I have to swatch to see if it's too yellow, and I have to swatch to see if I get gauge is only this yarn. I'm a tight knitter, so sometimes I just need to like knit with another strand to get gauge. So I have to swatch to see if I can use the mohair, or if I don't need it, or if it's too much, it's too yellow. So this is my plan for the near future. So I've got one sweater for my partner in pink, one cardigan for my youngest daughter. Maybe I'll make a beret, maybe for myself. I don't think that anybody else would wear a yellow beret in my family. And I think I need a sweater. I mean, I've been knitting for everybody else in the family. I made leg warmers for my older daughter. So I think it's my turn. It's my turn to get a sweater. So maybe in the next podcast, I'll have like swatch for the yellow beret, and then maybe swatch for the green first sweater, and I'll show you what I've decided. Normally I don't have that many projects at the same time. Usually I knit one knit and finish it, but I think that sometimes when it's a bit overwhelming and I'm stuck and I don't enjoy it anymore, like it happened to me with the Albion sweater, it was too much. I need a break, and I need to stop and think. Maybe I can swatch. So I tend to have more and more projects at the same time, but I don't feel comfortable when I have more than 3. So I've got two projects at the same time, and I'm happy with that. But I can still swatch. I mean, swatch doesn't count. I don't think it counts. Okay, so I'm going to finish this podcast. Last week I discovered a new podcast. I think it's called Retro Claude or Retro Claude. Sorry. I think it's a British woman. I've just watched one podcast where she's trying to knit everything from her stash, and she's like counting everything just to knit through a stash, and she knits from 3 patterns, and I think she's very funny. I love her accent. I love what she makes, and I'll put down below the detail of her podcast if you want to discover it. I watched only one and half of one. I think she's worth watching. Maybe I'm starting to have this problem too. I mean, I 2 weeks ago, yes, 2 weeks ago, I went through my stash and tried to put everything on Ravelry, and I don't think I have any more room left in my house to have so much yarn, so I have to do something about it. So maybe it's what she's doing now is just a good idea. Just go through the stash and knit everything you can and stop buying yarn. I have to stop to buy yarn. Yes. So it will be the last sentence of the podcast. See if I can do that. Okay. So I'll see you next time, and I hope that you'll enjoy my podcast. See you soon. Bye.